Michelle. That's a good Michelle. Something else. All right, welcome to We Are Something Else, episode 205. Make it better on a Thursday. It's your boy Kaleo. There's CB, and yes, it is Thursday, but it's also a Takeover Thursday. Takeover Trina. Welcome back.
Thank you. I mean, it hasn't been that long, but it feels long enough. So let's go, y'all. Let's go.
Man, what an interesting week it has been. What an amazing 24 hours it has been. Shout out to Risa. I see you. Take over that you are. Lot to dive into. Let's not forget yesterday was September 11th. Oh, but it was enough to happen to make you forget that it was September 11th. We'll start off with the passing of Frankie Beverly, who left his his stamp on the music industry. So rest in peace to Frankie Beverly. I mean, these guys are dropping. But with all that said, CB, welcome in, bro. Didn't think we would have you tonight. And then the fact that didn't think you would have you here, you actually beat the other member here, who I'm assuming is rebooting somewhere. So
yeah.
How was your day, bro? How's everything been?
The day has been great. I took off work. So Kaleo, he did have to do our normal 9 to 5. I was off the clock. So shit was cool. Actually played 28 holes of golf. In honor of my brother's birthday. He's not going to be around this weekend, which is at his actual birthday is on Saturday. So got some golf in today. And yeah, it's been a great day, but I'm already thinking about the shit I got to get done tomorrow. So, like we're right back to it.
Is work tomorrow? I mean, are we talking about? Oh, okay.
Yeah. We're back.
You got Britt B. Welcome. So, Takeover. How are you? Yeah, before we just want to dive into all these topics. Takeover. How's everything with you?
I'm good. It's been a good week. We are almost in the fourth quarter of the year, so
yeah.
I'm looking forward to We Are Something Else closing out October, November, December. So let's do it. What's up, E-Red?
What up?
Welcome in, bro. It's fourth quarter is approaching for sure. E, how you been, bro?
Just trying to dodge the fires and the earthquakes out here in Cali.
Oh, that's right. You had an earthquake today.
Yeah, I mean, we have one every day, but this one was a little bit. I mean, it just catch you. Like I said, you don't really feel the shit. You dig? Earthquake happens, you keep moving. You know what I'm saying? Y'all seen it before. We was actually on the podcast one time when one happened. I just kind of didn't even do shit. I just froze. I was like, don't do what I do.
Right. I got you. So week has been good though. I mean, everything else.
Yeah, man. Listen, work is work, but we here. We I like what's happening behind the scenes with the We Are Something Else.
Pod. Some good things happening behind the scenes, and maybe one of these days we'll get to it and have that conversation. But look, so my week. No, it's been a week. It's been a good week. Busy week, but good. Today, like CB said, he was not there, so he missed the tailgating lunch. That's where we are 22 floors high. Well, 20. This one is on 21, so we have 20. This is 20 floors high. Out on our balcony, there sits a grill and like some chairs and all that in the fire pit that high up off the ground, right? So today was the day that we have our annual cook off, whatever. Invite a company, Seasons, to come and work the grill. The owner came out and served us. It was good. It was a good event. So other than that, just work, a lot of work.
Nice.
But the week has also been busy, as we know. So let's dive into some of these things because there are quite a few things to rap about tonight. So that's it. Let's see. Let's lead off with this one. So Tyreek Hill was detained, not arrested, but detained this past Sunday, kickoff Sunday at that, for the NFL on his way to the stadium. And I mean, he was literally I'm assuming about a mile or less away from the stadium, maybe, right? He was within close proximity for other players to drive by or people on the way to the game to drive by and notice that was him. But he was detained by police officers in which, they said they got him for a moving violation. Not quite sure what the moving violation was, but they got him for that. But so the video picks up where you see the officer go up to his window and it's a nice car. You don't know who it is yet. Just know it's a nice car headed into that direction. So you hear you see the officer banging on a window and he says, put your window down. Then you see Tyreek finally say, don't bang on my window like that. So immediately, the tone is kind of being set between I'm telling you what to do and me telling you don't bang on my window. So let's follow my notes. Tyreek doesn't let the window down, and it comes off as a bit confrontational. And again, he says, don't knock on my window like that. And I believe that's what triggers the whole situation, right? It triggers the cop from there because now you feel like it's becoming an ego involved kind of thing. Cops, you're not gonna tell me what to do, right? So they aggressively pull Tyreek out the car. They gave him a couple. There was a couple words back and forth, but says, you know what? Get out the car. Get out the car, because I believe that's right. Tyreek handed over his license and registration. Then when he got it back, he went to wind his window up again. Now Tyreek later on said he did that because he's a high profile person and he just didn't want anybody recognizing who he was, right? Just sitting there. So at that point, they pulled him out the car and they begin to antagonize him. Right? They stop crying, put the knee on the back, and the guy says, when I tell you to do something, you do it. Not what you want to do. You're a little fucking confused. All right? So then from there, there's another instance where Tyreek is back on his feet. And they go to ask him to sit down, and he's taking his time sitting down. Then they aggressively go to sit him down, and he's saying he just had surgery on his knee. All right. So, yeah. And then you see his teammates pull over, try to help him, try to, at least get Drew on the phone. We know Drew is his attorney at this point, right? Try to get Drew on the phone, help him out of the situation. He's literally right here at the game. Now, at the beginning of the video, you also hear the cop tell other cops it's Tyreek Hill. So they know who he is before all this takes off. So get your thoughts on this. And if I got to say, if anything because the Miami Police Department put out a statement saying that they support their cops because Tyreek didn't initially comply, which is kind of why the situation escalated like that. One of the cops is on admin leave. So I'm thinking that if anything happened in the situation that you could probably maybe point a finger at Tyreek is just a little nuance of trying to control the situation with the window thing and telling the guy not to open his window. And that in there shouldn't have led to what happened, but that's what did. So let's start with Takeover, who hasn't been here in a while. And let's get your take on the Tyreek Hill situation.
So, I mean, I have similar thoughts, Kaleo. I do think that there were some wrongs on both sides. I think that there were some things on both sides that definitely could have been done better, right? So, I feel as if Hill could have been in the beginning a little bit more calm and respectful. I know he's a whole high profile celebrity and whatnot, but he did kind of, he aggravated the situation in the beginning where I feel it could have gone a little bit smoother, right? And listening to the audio, they said that he didn't have his seatbelt on. Whether that's true or not, I don't know. But then, like you said, I felt that it was that power struggle between him and the police officers. And that's really, where the issue lies. And so then, like you said, he was annoyed with them tapping on the window. And, I felt like the officers, they were egging it on. And then, he rolled up his window and the police officer was mad because he said, don't roll up your window. Well, is there a law or a crime that you don't, you're not supposed to roll up your window during a traffic stop? I don't think so, And from there, it just escalated. It went downhill. And I feel the wrong was how they handled him, how they bodied him, and the force that they used.
Right.
So, that's the real issue. And then my question was, why was his teammate Campbell arrested? What did he do? I mean, he was on the phone, talking to someone, but what crime or law did he break in all of this?
Right. Okay. Good points. CB.
This was a crazy situation, man. I definitely think that there were wrongs at least on one side. I don't think Tyreek was necessarily in the wrong, but he didn't make it any easier. You know what I mean? And he even came out and said that, like, he probably could have been more compliant or whatever you want to say during the stop, but it doesn't excuse the behavior of the police officers in the situation. So it's one of those things, bro. Like, I've got friends and family that wear the badge, and I've still heard some stuff where it's like, bro, that doesn't make you cool, bro. That doesn't make you cool. So I'm not saying that like every single person out there that wears the badge, is a bad apple or whatever. But these are the situations that get brought up publicly. You know what I mean? And that shit sucks. So that needs to be fixed.
Right. If only there was someone in the NFL community that would take a stand against police brutality or using aggressive force against Black people. I don't know. Maybe if things would change if that was the case. Anisha, good to see you. Be Easy, good to see you. DKC is good to see you. Didi, good to see you. My bro E.
I mean, I get it to the extent that, safety is always going to be their first thing that they're going to hold their hat on, right? And the window situation is what that was. However, once he presented all his documentation, regardless if a person is mouthy or just has whatever type of attitude, like, first of all, nobody wants to get pulled over, even if you are breaking the law or not, but you can have an attitude. That does not indicate that you should then go into I'm going to treat you a certain way now because you have an attitude with me for breaking the law. You've seen officers be like, you can yell, scream all you want. Here go your ticket, be on your way. You know what I'm saying? So again, knowing that they knew who it was.
Absolutely.
And once, and from my understanding, once he opened up the car door and again, he said he was getting out, there was no need for the cop to reach in and pull him out. You've already established at that point, your hand's not on your gun, right? You don't have your guns out. So there's no credible threat.
Yeah.
There's no threat in that moment where if I'm reaching in a car and I'm feeling unsafe, I'm not reaching in nobody's damn car for nobody if I feel unsafe. So, you know what I'm saying? It's wild. Like I said, people can say on both sides and you sit there and you say, if you say yes, sir, no, sir, but then there's still an attitude on that part. Well, then what? You know what I mean? Like, you can come with the I'm trying to be cordial, give me my ticket and be on my way. No traffic stop that's either that consisted of meaning that you got to get out the car and be placed on the ground. It's a traffic stop.
Right.
And that's it. Write my ticket. I'll either see you in court or I'm just gonna pay this up and I'll be on my way, just like you should be. But and then the whole thing with Calais. So for that, Trina, I think he was incited for disrupting, right, an investigation at the time, which is being in a certain proximity of them, like doing their situation. Which again, look at the stats of Calais Campbell. He ain't no average, he's not that average human being, right? So you got to know
the situation he was.
Yeah, if you look at it, if he really wanted to inflict some pain on them little ass cops, even with the damn Chips outfit on that they had, you know what I'm saying? Like he could have, but it wasn't about that. And then when you realize that, it just becomes more of a spectacle. And I think at the end of the day, I mean, you said it perfect, because if it wasn't Tyreek Hill and if there wasn't cameras, that could have went a different way. And we've seen it go that way many a times.
Yeah. Except, again, to reiterate, they knew who this guy was. They said at the very beginning of the stop, we knew it's Tyreek Hill, and all that, pull him out the car. Well, you know where he's going, so you don't even have to ask him that question. And to pull him out the car and then put him on the ground in front of traffic is to embarrass him, right? It's to show force, to show who has the power, who has the control at the end of the day. And I don't know if anybody's gonna get fired behind this. Probably not. I think the administrative leave is probably as far as you're going to get. But yeah, here we go again. All right. What's next? Let's talk about.
Well, I haven't heard that one in a while.
What's that?
What's next?
Oh, there you go. Right. KDOT. So announced this week, which was really early. Because I don't think the Super Bowl halftime act has been announced this early in the NFL season, but it was announced that KDOT will be doing the Super Bowl at in New Orleans, Super Bowl 2025, which is in February. It will be KDOT. Now, I just told you it was in New Orleans, and I told you, and I remember last year after the last Super Bowl, it was when it was in New Orleans, that I think Wayne perhaps, or there was a campaign to get Wayne to do the Super Bowl because it's in his hometown, right? Well, the area. So why not have Wayne, the perfect time, Hot Boys, and it just so happens there is a Hot Boys reunion happening. Like, you can do that in that area. Like, this is what those people want. This is a perfect opportunity to have Wayne, right? And the fact that Hove, he's not the ultimate say so, but he is on the board. He is making these, I'm assuming, suggestions or recommendations of who's going to be there. But there's Jimmy Iovine's involved as well, and there's a couple other people. So it's not just Hove. So the place to blame on the pick squarely on Hove, he's probably partially to blame. Partially. But there's other people involved as well. All right. So they pick KDOT, not Wayne. Now, there's a couple things here. Let's start with the Wayne aspect. Everybody wanted Wayne, or thought Wayne should do is the right thing to do. Now, Wayne has major hits. Wayne is a rap icon to a lot of people, and will go down to some people as probably one of the greatest rappers to live, right? And still putting on music. Oh, yeah, we know, Stevie, but there's other people who know. But to me, this is not a knock on Wayne. I don't think Wayne would be good to headline the Super Bowl. And I'm going to tell you why. Not that he's not a good rapper, not that he doesn't have hits. I don't think there's enough crossover success for Wayne, for the 50-year-old white dad with the 75-year-old granddad. And I just don't think there's enough crossover for Wayne to headline 80,000+ people at that kind of event, especially with the sponsorships that are on the line there, right? And that's not a knock on Wayne. That's just you thinking corporate side of, am I going to let Wayne and the Hot Boys just because they're hometown heroes, get up on the stage and give them 20, 25 minutes. Right now, that's the other aspect of this is Kendrick Lamar can very well invite whoever he wants to up on that stage to do the halftime show with him. We've seen that happen before. Kendrick Lamar was a guest of Dr. Dre and Snoop like 2 years ago. Right. So do you get Kendrick Lamar inviting Wayne on the stage? And let me tell you what's going to happen. It's a slap in the face either way. If you do invite Wayne up on stage and he accepts it, well, there's a slap in the face because of the big beef that Kendrick had with Drake earlier, and Wayne and Drake are close. And if that's a slap in the face, I'm going to say it's a slap in the face. If Kendrick gets up there and doesn't invite Wayne on stage because of the beef earlier, that's another slap in the face, right? Just my thoughts here, just thoughts. So where are my other? And then also the Grammys is the week before, and most likely, Not Like Us is probably going to win a Grammy, right? It's probably going to win something. And a week later, the Super Bowl, you have 80,000+ people and a New Orleans brass band playing Not Like Us. Perfect way to end the year for Kendrick, right? All right. Let's end with CB. Let's end with CB. E.
What is the NFL? Anybody? It's a money-making company. This is a money decision. Every halftime Super Bowl is about money. It's about viewership. It's about getting money. So that's all there is to it. We can be up in arms about it, and I think shout out to Bunk who reached. I saw she had posted. Nobody was up in arms when Beyonce did it the last time they was in New Orleans, because that's when they was there. She did it. They wasn't talking about Wayne back then. There was no uproar about it, and he still had the same amount of hits that he has now. You know what I mean? So he had already solidified who he was in the rap game, but nobody was crying about it. It's about money at the end of the day. It's about what can move the needle. It's still funny in the sense because you're talking about Kendrick performing on Super Bowl in February, Black History Month, and just kind of the way that he does certain things. So, again, this is they're taking a big chance at, whatever possibilities that could happen. But at the end of the day, it's all about money. And, I wouldn't necessarily call it a slap in the face. I think people are reaching. I think then it becomes now they're starting to dilute the fact that K-Dot is actually doing the Super Bowl, and we're talking about something else. And then, call it what it is. I know other people are saying it like the Super Bowl is also in San Fran, I think, the next year. And then 2 years, I think then the year after that, or I think there's a year in between there where it's back in LA. So it's like, it is what it is. But it's all about timing, though. So call it what it is. Some money. Right. It's all about money.
Got you. Take over.
Okay, so I guess I got to be the one tonight. So Kendrick, he is joining a long list of mega superstar entertainers that, is performing for the Super Bowl, right? I mean, you're talking about Michael Jackson, Prince,
Dimitri,
Madonna, Beyonce, Dre and friends, right? I'm not mad that he's performing, whatever. I like Kendrick. I have his music. So, I'm glad that he was given the opportunity, right? And we're going to address, okay, so let me just keep moving forward, okay? So, I mean, I say all of that to say, and this is a question, I'm just giving you something to think about, even everyone in the chat, for real. Like, Kendrick, okay, like you brought up, you don't think Wayne crosses certain genres, right? From my viewpoint, does Kendrick cross certain genres? Especially if you're talking about certain races, certain age groups. Like, I feel like my parents know who a Lil Wayne is, but I feel like they don't know who a Kendrick Lamar is. I mean, I don't know. That's just my opinion. And so let's say, you know, J-Lo, when she performed, right? Even if you weren't a J-Lo fan, you know, you knew who she was, right? She had that presence. You might know a song or two. You're going to get entertained. So my advice, you know, my hope for Kendrick, because he has this platform, is that you take advantage of it and you bring it, because performing at the Super Bowl is not just about, you know, your songs. It's about bringing the wow factor, you know, like you said, the bands, the fireworks, you know, all of that. So he has a big task ahead of him to really entertain the crowd. And E-Rich, I see you going crazy over there.
I agree with you. I agree with you for that.
I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait. See, we gotta talk. I'm gonna wait.
Good. I'm glad I got your attention. I'm not a Kendrick hater. I promise you. I have his music. I play his music. You know what I'm saying? Yes, I'm a Drake fan. So what? You know, and I root for somebody whose name starts with a K, you know. But so that's my thing. It's not, for me, would I have loved to see Lil Wayne and, you know, his crew? Of course. Why not? But he has the platform. Bring it and help this elevate who you are. I'm done.
That was dope. So we all know Mixtape Wayne is my favorite rapper of all time.
Absolutely.
On the Mount Rushmore, it is what it is. No one's going to be able to argue me off of that. When it comes to the Super Bowl, I do agree with my brother E-Rich when they're talking about the money being involved and some of the cross. Like, I'm gonna be honest, my man, like, my favorite Wayne stuff is not the commercial shit, and a lot of the commercial shit is really not what you want, like, being played for, you know, the entire world on that stage. You know what I mean? So I'm all for a free Wayne show. You know what I mean? I'm all for they being able to, like, tell me that, hey, he's performing at the Super Bowl and whatever. But this is not the first time that they've even had. New Orleans is one of the most heavily used venues for Super Bowls. So this is not like, this shouldn't be a new thing. And at the end of the day, I don't think it's a slight if he was to end up being part of the performance. And also, it's a little bit different when we're talking about a Super Bowl where it's at a location where not necessarily the home team is going to be there. A lot of the fans, like, assuming New Orleans is not in the Super Bowl, the fans that are there are not New Orleans natives. You know what I mean? So it's not actually even going to hit the same. Like, for everyone watching, it'll be dope. But for the people that are actually there, it wouldn't hit the same unless, like, it's actually people from the city. You know what I mean? I think it's a little bit different from that standpoint. So having an act like Kendrick, which I do believe he does cross over, and, you know, there's plenty of that. Like, they made the decision, and, you know, I'm with my brother E-Rich. It's all about that. It's all about that.
Can I say one more thing, Cleo?
Sure, go ahead. That's what you got to say.
Okay. So, Not Like Us, right? I know he's going to perform it. Is that not a commercial song?
Absolutely.
That's not a bopper. It's a TikTok, you know, bopper. It's probably at the local UCLA bar, you
Might
know,
be song
it's a
of the
bopper.
year.
So I understand.
Yeah. I mean, I think that is one of the selling points, perhaps. Randy.
What? First of all, Trina, why I got to be at the local UCLA bar? Like, what's that about? What is that?
Come on, Rich. Come on.
What is that? First of all, we all know who populates the UCLA Bruins community, but we won't go there anyway.
I didn't say anything. I'm just saying it's a bopper.
Let me ask you. Okay, let me just ask you a question. What was Wayne's last commercial hit? and you can't tell
Lollipop.
me because he
I'm
doesn't
not
have
supposed
one.
to jump in, right?
Lollipop.
No, CB can't jump in. But what I'm saying is, and the reason why I say that is because, again, if it's about money, and you just said if it's about crossing over, I didn't even use the word crossover. I can care less about the crossover because already by Hove being in that pocket, which means is that Super Bowl Sunday has now become us. So it's our halftime show. We've already gone through the backstory of how In Living Color was really the situation where this is why this is even a thing now, right? So if it's supposed to be entertaining to us, if you've seen and everything, I'm putting this out there because this is just, if we're gonna be honest about it, Wayne is not for the camera. He's not. He's not. He hasn't been on a stage at a certain level that people are like, I want to see him again. Kendrick got a little bit of the Super Bowl for being a part of it when it was in LA. So they know who Kendrick is. People, I'm not saying that people 50 years old don't know who Wayne is. What I'm saying is they don't know the last Wayne song that came out. Now, us on here might know it because we listen to him, or the fact that the mixtape Carters is what we rather listen to. But at the end of the day, nobody's checking for Wayne in the sense of mainstream because he hasn't had anything mainstream that we want to listen to. So you say, well, he got the old discography. Very true. But if you've seen him in concert, and here's the thing, nobody said anything about Kendrick and Absol or anybody from TDE. Y'all keep saying Wayne, Hot Boys, Juvie. Like, why does there need to be extra people on the stage? Kendrick's about to be on that motherfucker by himself. And even if he did bring anybody out, nobody's even saying that he's got to bring out other people in order for the show to go on. And even if it's an LA situation. And then to say he doesn't have, okay, you said got to have that thing, right? He showed y'all the culture of LA, which is the crump dancing, which is everything that we have that never got mainstream. That is something that the mainstream America don't know about. They're going to get to know it on Super Bowl Sunday, though. So if they didn't see it and they don't understand what a beef between Drake and Kendrick was about, they about to see what crumping and what LA is all about. That's all I'm saying.
Is it Tommy the Clown?
Yep.
Like, if he brings out Tommy the Clown.
He is.
Like, for the Super Bowl, bro.
I mean, yeah, you can only imagine, right?
That's some legendary shit, bro.
Wow.
That's some legendary LA shit.
I'm looking at time, and then we about to skip 2 stories just to get to get to an interesting story. What it says. All right, so yesterday it was not only September 11th and the day that we lost Frankie Beverly. Yesterday was a heavy day, right? You know, was it 23 years of September since the attack on the towers? Yeah, because we're 24, 23, 01, yeah.
2001.
Yeah, and also Blueprint, the Glitter album, which I didn't realize that day as well, because we only talk about the Blueprint dropping. And now perhaps something else associated with September 11th that in a million years I never thought would be here. But yesterday, oh boy. Yesterday. Your uncle was trending yesterday. And why was Unc trending yesterday? Well, apparently Unc went live on Instagram yesterday in the middle of some extracurricular activities he was having with some younger old lady named Michelle. Right? Now, I almost sound like Unc right there, right? So it's not much of a video. It's more audio than anything else, because of the video is just, a shot of the ceiling, right? The camera halfway on the ceiling, halfway out into maybe the room, but you don't see anything. You hear more so anything. Then at some point you see a hand maybe grab the phone, I believe, or you see a hand put the phone down, right? Now you just don't see anything. You hear it all, which is the selling point, right? So you know it's Shannon. You know it's a woman because he says Michelle, and if you got a stop clock or a stopwatch, you know how long it took, right? So here's the question. Now here's the thing. So what was recorded was the stopwatch, but then he later on that day, to clear it up, right? He posted a special nightcap edition, right? And the cover art for the nightcap was his cell phone with him on it, and then it was the little red pack, whatever they call it, I think it was Sparks, he said, of ED pills. So now we are having a special nightcap to address the situation, but in the corner now we have Sparks ED pills. So now are we talking sponsorship? Right? So we go live on Nightcap, and there, Shannon gets in front of Mike and says, he's embarrassed, not for the act, but for the fact that he went live during private time that he's having, right? Now, he said he had never went live on IG before. So if you've never gone live on IG before, how, with the sleight of a hand or a magic button, are you live on IG? So let me tell you, before I go into this, let me tell you why I'm calling hoax. I'm calling viral moment. I'm calling a fix. So you've never been on IG Live. If you want to go on IG Live, you know how long it takes to get on IG Live? You know what it takes? You gotta go through, scroll down, hit a button, hit another button. Time tells you how long it is before you get on. There's a countdown. And all of a sudden, it tells you you're live. And he said he had already been engaged in activities 20 plus minutes prior to going live. He said that because Ocho made a joke about him supposedly being quick. And he's like, he was already 25 minutes in. Well, now, what does this prove? Only thing it proves is we don't see Shannon in it, so he can recover from the moment quickly. It's not nothing embarrassing that's going to get him fired from ESPN, or he has to step down or anything, because there's no video there. It's a clean getaway. It's a clean escape. It's just sound. And if anything proves what's in the video is he's having sex with a woman, in which there's been plenty of rumors out there that Shannon plays for the other team. And then Shannon even says, before he went live, Cat Williams calls him and says, well, I guess you're not gay today. Now, the thing is, I don't care about Shannon Sharp's sexual preference, but he obviously does, because to go through a hoax to try to clean this up when all you got to do is ignore the situation. Boom. But then out of this, you have t-shirts being made. You've got merch. You got, he talks about he was taking these red pills that gave him that extra stuff, I'm tired of talking. E-Rich, thoughts?
It's a money grab.
Absolutely.
It's a money grab. It's a money grab. And listen, like you said, I think by calling it out and saying like it's just not that easy to get on IG Live and present it that way. But like you said, probably the safest thing that could have happened in the sense of not being fired or not losing any any money or any promotions or any type of sponsors. So it is what it is. Like, I'm over the story. Like, I'd rather talk about something else because this ain't it.
All right, my man, CB.
I mean, it's got to be tough, man, when you're like a father of three and you got to fight the allegations. You know what I mean? Like, shit's crazy, bro. Like, it seems like it could be staged. You know what I mean? Like, but at the end of the day, I don't care. Like, my man's life is his life. Like, whatever. Like, other people obviously care about this shit more than I do, and I don't know why is whatever my man doing extracurricular wise like. But I will say, Nisha, that shit is funny. Where's the stylist at? That's just funny.
You said, where's the what at?
Where's the stylist at? The stylist at?
Exactly. Take over.
That's funny as shit.
I mean, as soon as I heard this story, I knew it was baloney. And who still eats bologna in 2024? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, just like, you know, everyone has said, it was a convenient way to deflect from, you know, him and the stylist and what was going on. And I mean, if you listen to it, I mean, the Miss Doubtfire woman that was involved in the making of this production, like, and I don't know if you all heard, he got like $100,000 offer from the adult film company. I mean, so, you know, like you said, endorsements, but I feel like my man Shannon, like you said, you could have just stayed silent, but it was eating him up, you know? So I guess you got to try to do what you got to do, you know?
Yeah. All right. Yeah. Did everybody go? I'm lost track. Yeah. It doesn't matter. But, you know, yeah, it's yeah. You know what it does? Makes me thinking about DC Shot Pie and how we can save 10% this weekend because there's a fight this weekend. There's a few different types of sports events happening this weekend. WRC 10 save 10%. Shout out to Grant, all the wonderful people at DC Shot Pie. Shout out to Margaret. Shout out to the winners of the 200th episode who got their DC Shot Pie, and the shirts are on the way. So if you're listening and you want a shirt, you already got your pizza, your shirt is on the way. So yeah, we didn't forget about you. We didn't forget about you. I promise you. So I think this normally leads to a transitional phase where we do something like oh, that's Daddy. How that happened? All right. My guy, my bro. What's good with you?
All right, so listen, in the interest of time, because I see that we've kind of pushed this show a little bit longer than we probably should have. But
right on time, bro.
Right on time. All right, listen. So it's something that it actually goes on par with if anybody watched that debate yesterday. Clearly there was plenty of viral moments, but from the orange guy. However, it got me to thinking, even before that, there's something that I seen on IG that just kind of made me want to ask this question for the Is It Just E? This is for people who have pets. I need you to chime in. For those of you who have pets, do you still get it on with your pet in the room? And is that a thing? Like, do y'all like, is it normal for them to stay in the room if you allow your pet to be in the room? I gotta know because like I know like pets sense certain shit, and it's just like your pet is in there while you just clapping cheeks. Now again, we all know Shannon Sharp got them little ass dogs, right? So were they in the room with him, or what is the what's the process of a pet owner, whether it's cats, whether it's dogs, whatever the fuck you have as a pet? Do y'all keep it in the room while y'all smashing? Or do y'all be like, all right, you gotta let them out? And then, they be like separation anxiety. They be scratching on the fucking door and all that other shit or whining. Like, what really, Is It Just E needs to know, how does that work? Do y'all put y'all pets out when it's time to for the boom boom room, or what? Like, just anybody on here got pets that can explain? Oh, okay.
No, I know one.
Be easy, sure.
So I'm gonna jump right in. I'm a straight shooter. You know what I'm saying? Like personally, me, I don't care. I'm not there entertaining the dog. I don't think the dog is even paying attention for real. At least not my dog. You know what I'm saying? She's a Yorkie. She's 4 pounds. She just like to, be with us. Yin and yang. I mean, I'm telling you, be easy. He's like, heck no. He's weirded out. You know what I'm saying? That's we differ on some things. I guess that's how we work or whatever. Me, I don't care. You know what I'm saying? Dog, fish.
Yo, CB is crying.
If that makes me weird, hey, it is what it is, man.
Be easy and fashion report.
Dog, these are real tears. This is bullshit. Oh shit, that's hilarious. The pets got to be out of the room, bro. They got to be out of the room. There was a period of time. One previous lady, like it had to be stamped down. I was like, nah, we got to move the cage, man. It can't be in the room. The cage cannot be in the room. Homie does not need to be privy to this. And he doesn't need to be yapping throughout this entire process. So no, the pets do not need to be in the room. And yeah, no, that's it. And god damn it, Takeover, these are real fucking tears, man. These are real tears. So
I mean, all I can do is just keep it real with y'all. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not worried about the dog. I don't think the dog is worried about me. You know what I'm saying? I'm in a whole totally different mode.
Nah. And I appreciate that for B. And I'm just telling you that the dog, they fucking care. They do. It's bull.
All right, CB, what do we have for that Copper Chop this week?
So, going back to Old Faithful, man. Going back to Jordan Brand, we got the Howard Jordan 1 lows coming out. One of those because it was news within the last year or so, whatever, that Howard had the partnership right with Jordan Brand, and that was going to be a big thing. And so we're actually getting some 1 lows out of that, and I believe I think they're around $140 coming out in the next month, coming out in October. So how are you feeling? For me, like, I do think it's a super clean colorway, but I've been spending a lot of money on golf, not as much money in the shoe budget when
Good to
you're
see.
paying for these tee times and shit. So these are not a must cop, but I like these a lot. Like the color blocking, the colorway, I think is fire. And obviously I'm gonna rep DC. You know what I mean? So shout out to Howard. And yeah, so not a must cop, but I do think these are dope. How are y'all feeling? You copping or chopping?
And I like the Jordan 1
$140.
140. I do like the Jordan 1 low. I'm gonna chop perhaps on this, even though I love the colorway. Nah, just not this color. I do like the color. I don't love it, so I'm chopping on this one.
I'm going to give it a big chop, CB. I'm going to rep the other HU, the real HU, Hampton. And
I hear you.
Come on, man. You just need to have a whole segment with me and you just, battle it out. You know what I'm saying? Let's go. You my brother. Let's go. Okay. Friendly battle. But I mean, no, I like the shoe. And big ups to, Howard for securing the sponsorship. I like it, but I just can't rock it.
Okay.
Agreed. I definitely I appreciate the shoe. Definitely shout out for them for getting that sponsorship. But I will not be wearing Howard anything if it ain't got the Morgan State bear on there. I ain't wearing it. So
Okay.
chop the shit out of it.
Chop it up. Okay. All right. What we got for, let's see, shoe and tell, and then I guess we up out of here. So I'll lead off real quick. So there's a certain style of shoe that's going around right now that I was intrigued about getting. Now, I did not get the colorway that I wanted, but I did get a colorway because I do like the model of the shoe. But we have the Jordan 4, what are these? The Jordan 4 RMs. Now, the Nigel version came out with the bike on the back. This one has Nike on the back, but on Nigel's it says bike with the Nike sign. To me, this looks like almost like a 4 low. It's like a convertible. So colorway is dope. It's not even white. This is like a grayish, almost maybe somewhat sail colorway. Black alternate laces that came with it is gray, a different shade of gray than this. So they're not bad. They're comfortable. So yeah, the Jordan 4 RMs.
Just to put this out there, they had talked about releasing I guess like the player edition Kobe's that Caitlin Clark has been wearing, and amongst some other colorways. Was on that train before it was even a thing beforehand, and because again, not a fan just because after the fact, was a fan before. So I already have my Kobe PE editions, if you will, white and gray, just clean as all day. Nice. Not a colorway that everybody else is about to have. So again, got to get your shit before everybody starts hitting the wave. So it is what it is.
Okay. Take over.
Okay, so I wish Cardo was here because Cardo always got jokes for me and be like, "Oh, why your shoes so big?"
Joe Jackson.
Shout out to Cardo, man. But so I'm presenting today the Jordan Retro, the FIBAs. If you remember these, 2019.
Okay.
And because it is Thursday, Throwback Thursday, Takeover Thursday. This is what I rocked recently. So, just with some jeans. I probably could clean them up a little better, but they are worn. So
nice. Wear your sneaks.
Wear your sneakers.
Wear them.
Sneaks. All right.
So y'all know I've been talking about being in that eBay Top Star program. Yep. And they had a drop recently. And I've been telling my brother Kaleo this the last 2 drops. I keep having meetings immediately when like these are happening. And so I'm not necessarily after the first time where I got the those Travis those J's. Outside of that, I've been late to the party. It just is what it is. And I was late again. Not something that most homies want to hear, but here we go. We did get the Travis Scott Air Max joints.
Okay.
See the eBay tag through the Top Star joints. So I paid retail for these. We are still undecided about whether these are going to be kept or whether these are going to be sold or whatever. Because these are like, I'm an Air Max head. You guys know this. Yeah. But this is not like my favorite joint. But I do think that there's a hive for these joints. Like I do think that there are people that like these. So
was there a backward swoosh in there on that? And that's Travis's stamp.
I mean, technically right here. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's hidden, but yeah. Technically.
CB, those seem like those would match with the shirt you have on.
No, here's the thing. Like these would go with a lot of my shit. Like plenty of my shit. It's just that out of all the Travis joints that are out, these aren't necessarily my favorite. I don't necessarily think he's actually done his thing with the Air Maxes, but when you go through what you have to go through to be in the Top Star program, you're going to take advantage when you can be in part of the drop. So these are still dope. I'm not knocking the shoe. I bought them. You know what I mean? I paid the retail price for them. But you know, it's still undecided about whether they're going to hit pavement for me or not.
All right. Well, look at that. 57 minutes. Oh, look at that. Look at that. What? All right. Look, we appreciate everybody for chiming in tonight. It's always let me see. It's always a pleasure doing business with everybody in the chat. Takeover Thursday returns. Appreciate you, Takeover. Fellas, I mean, hopefully the next couple weeks or so we'll be able to make an official announcement or whatever, but you know, things are moving in good positive directions for the We Are Something Else podcast. So, you know, we'll be able to talk about it shortly. But other than that, look, new music tomorrow, I believe. I think the Slim Shady, the Death of Slim Shady has a revisit, is a part 2, or it's an extended, you know, just the deluxe version happening. I don't know what else comes out tomorrow, but anyway, just listen to some new music. Check it out. Any closing statements we want to make?
Kaleo, new music sounds good.
It does, doesn't it? It definitely does. I totally agree. We need to figure out.
That's all I got to say.
Have a conversation about some new music.
Yeah.
But other than that, he can keep. Other than that, look, y'all. Episode 205. Like, that's it. We on the wraps, y'all. So look. Appreciate everybody for watching. We are something else.
Follow us on YouTube at WRSC Podcast. Be sure to like and subscribe.
Peace.